Imagine conquering the dream house, a successful career, a loving family, and all the money you've always wanted. Now, imagine losing all of this because you couldn't control your tongue. Discover now how to avoid this fate. Welcome to the channel Buddha's Reflections. If you are seeking wisdom and inner peace, subscribe to our channel, like the video, and share the wisdom of Buddha with the world. Have you ever stopped to think about the power of words? Often, without realizing it, we end up revealing secrets that should be kept under lock and key. And what happens when we do this? Sadness and conflicts arise in our lives, making us regret not keeping certain information to ourselves. I went through this myself. I shared many personal details with people I shouldn't have, and I paid the price. That's why today I want to tell you a fascinating Buddhist story that teaches 7 things we should never reveal to anyone. By following this narrative, you will discover these secrets and understand why it is so important to keep them. Let's go to an ancient city where a young man named David lived. Imagine this young man's daily struggle. He could barely secure a simple meal for his family, even dedicating days and nights in the tireless search for a job. Remained closed. In a moment of despair, David confided in his wife, revealing all his frustration and sadness at not finding help anywhere. "No matter where I go, no one is willing to help me. Everyone says they don't need anyone else," David vented, his eyes full of tears and his heart heavy with the exhaustion of so many fruitless attempts. His wife, with a look of deep reflection, replied, "David, you have asked for help once. If you didn't receive it, try again. But if still no one helps you, then it's time to appeal to compassion. Speak openly about our financial difficulties. Sometimes people only understand the seriousness of the situation when they hear it clearly. Don't be ashamed to share our reality, as it can touch someone's heart." These words echoed in David's mind. The next day, with renewed determination, he returned to the same place where he had sought help before. He approached a merchant, joined his hands in a sign of humility, and begged for a job opportunity. With a trembling voice, David explained his extreme need and emphasized that he would accept any opportunity with gratitude. Moved by the situation, the merchant decided to hire him. David started working daily, and although tired, felt content to finally have a chance to improve his life. After finally securing a job, David noticed something that deeply bothered him. His salary was much lower than that of the other workers. With courage, he decided to mention this to the employer. The merchant, however, responded coldly, "Look, my friend, you needed a job, and I gave you this opportunity. Instead of showing gratitude, you're complaining. What kind of ungrateful person are you?" With this reprimand, David remained silent. In a way, the merchant's words contained a truth. The employer had agreed to help him by paying a salary based on his own assessment. However, David began to share this information with his relatives and friends, revealing details about his employer and the amount he received. As time went by, David continued to perform his duties with dedication, but the circumstances did not change. This affected his self-esteem, as he worked harder than his colleagues and received less in return. The difference in treatment had a profound impact on his confidence, which gradually diminished. He could not accept the idea of staying in a place where his self-worth was compromised. Feeling undervalued, David decided to leave the job and return home, helpless and without enough resources for household expenses. He shared his decision with his family and turned to friends for help. However, despite showing sympathy in front of him, they mocked him behind his back, ridiculing how naive he was for accepting so little from the employer. This made David's situation worse every day, living in constant tension, both day and night. The same friends and relatives who showed sympathy actually felt sorry for him. They came to give advice, but no one offered practical help. One day, David found out that a very wise monk lived in the nearby village. Feeling tense and without a solution in sight, He sought out the monk. Upon arriving there, he began to cry, sharing his concerns about how his boss exploited him and the treatment he received from his family. The monk, after listening attentively, spoke calmly. "All these situations are human creations and temporary. They come and go. Learn to remain calm and balanced, regardless of the circumstances. Be strong, because this too shall pass." The problems arose from your own lack of discernment and foolishness. If you had more wisdom, none of this would affect your mind. However, due to foolishness and stubbornness, you spread thorns in your own path. David, I want to share with you 7 things you should never reveal to anyone. By following these guidelines, you can avoid many unnecessary pains that the world often imposes without reason. First, never reveal your true situation to anyone. Avoid creating an appeal letter exposing your difficulties and seeking help. Although people may help today when they see your distress, tomorrow they might even exploit your situation. If you do not want to be the constant target of jokes, avoid showing your needs publicly. If at home you only have the essentials, food to satisfy hunger and a bed to rest, simply eat and go to sleep without drawing attention to it. Think for a moment. What is the purpose of sharing your difficulties with someone? Generally, people seek empathy or help. However, by keeping these situations private, you avoid others taking advantage of you. And if the person does not take advantage, they may end up considering you foolish and stupid, mocking you in front of others. Therefore, it is better not to share your difficulties. The second thing you should never reveal are past mistakes and future plans. Reflect on this. By sharing our past mistakes with someone, what is the real impact? Can these mistakes be corrected by being exposed? Of course, revealing these details serves no valid purpose. By exposing your flaws to the world, you are highlighting your negative aspects to others. Sharing your mistakes in front of others contributes to forming an image of compromised character, and this perception may persist in the future. Therefore, avoid letting others' views of your character be shaped. Think carefully about why you are revealing your future strategies to the world, especially to those who are not part of your trusted circle. They may not be genuinely interested in helping, but could use your future strategies to gain advantages. Keep your future strategies private and reflect on whether you are unnecessarily revealing them to those who do not have a genuine interest in your life. Use your own discernment and remember, has it ever happened that you shared your future strategy with someone and it did not materialize? Surely this must have happened at some point. The third thing that should not be shared is domestic matters. The internal conversations that take place within our home, whether with our parents, wife, husband, or children, should remain private. These discussions and family interactions are matters that belong only to the family and should not be exposed to the outside world. By sharing these details, you may create misunderstandings and conflicts that can harm domestic harmony. By exposing these matters to others, you give them the opportunity to invade your privacy and exploit it to the fullest. They may even try to create divisions among your family members. This is often observed in society, where people try to resolve disagreements internally to avoid others taking advantage of the situation. Revealing family disagreements to neighbors or relatives will not bring help. On the contrary, it may intensify conflicts at home. Sharing your parents' problems with third parties can hurt them because they may feel that their child is revealing things without informing them. Therefore, avoid exposing the internal issues and struggles of your home to others. The fourth thing I want to share may seem peculiar, but it makes perfect sense when we think logically. I suggest not revealing your income to anyone. Consider that if you share your income with friends, they may remember you only when they need help. This happens because, knowing that your income is good, they consider you the right person to help them. Consequently, more people may come to you for help, and if you refuse to help, they will think, This man has money and can help me, but is refusing. Thus, your income may become a source of conflict among friends. If the income is low, people may mock. If it is high, they will ask for help. Therefore, there is no reason to disclose your income. The fifth important thing is to keep your personal matters to yourself and not share your weaknesses and strengths with anyone. Often, people are not aware of their own weaknesses and strengths. Knowing your weaknesses and strengths is a sign of intelligence. However, it is not necessary to share this information with anyone. If your weaknesses are known, others may exploit them, and if your strengths are revealed, they may turn into weaknesses, because those who know your strength may seek to weaken it. It is not advisable to share this information even with your wife or husband, as it may create pressures at home. The sixth aspect that no one should reveal is talking about your friends and enemies. By telling others about your friends, you make them vulnerable to manipulation, thus becoming a potential victim. They may try to distance your closest friends from you, something that the common citizen does not often do. However, your enemies might attempt this strategy. Additionally, no one should have knowledge about who your enemies are. Sharing this information can give the opportunity for it to be used against you, increasing the risk of betrayal and manipulation. This is because someone who is your friend today may become your enemy tomorrow and conspire with your enemies to defeat you, betraying and deceiving you. Therefore, avoid telling your best friends about your enemies. Finally, the last thing I want to emphasize is that when you are involved in any activity, avoid disclosing it to others. If you talk about what you are doing, it can become useless. It is more beneficial to carry out your actions discreetly, especially when acting in secret. When you do something with your left hand, the right should not be aware of this movement. These 7 statements shared by a Buddhist monk contain essential principles for a balanced life. By following these guidelines, it is possible to cultivate joy and tranquility at home, eliminating family conflicts. Let's review the principles. Take paper and pen. 1. Never reveal your true financial situation. 2. Do not expose your past mistakes and future plans. 3. Keep domestic matters within the home. 4. Do not disclose your income to anyone. 5. Keep your weaknesses and strengths to yourself. 6. Avoid talking about your friends and enemies. 7. Perform your activities discreetly. Review your notes regularly and put these teachings into practice in your daily life. This will help cultivate a more serene and balanced life. If you found value in this content, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel Buddha's Reflections, and share this wisdom with those you love. Namaste.